I don't think those titles were available. So anyway, I am the best man, and I've known Steve for a very long time.
How long?
You're supposed to say? How long? Yes. Well, let's just put it this way. I've known Steve for a very long time. When I actually met him, he was smaller than me, believe it or not. I knew him when he was just little Stevie, not Moose, as he's grown into that nickname over the years. Moose in the house. Anyway, I've known him for so long, he actually spelled his name C-R-I-G-H-T-O-N, not C-R-I-C-H-T-O-N. He changed the C for a G. He became an American. I feel like I hardly know the guy. And he's now rooting for the Flyers. We got Go Habs Go in the house. Go Habs Go. All right. Anyway, there we go. Okay. Anyway, we have watched a lot of hockey together, which has been great, and a lot of Montreal Canadiens, and I understand we're a little down here. But come on, big rivalry. Anyway, seriously though, I remember the first time we met. It was at Jubilee Elementary, grade 2, boys' bathroom. Hey, I said grade 2, right? Anyway, I thought he looked like Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard. Anybody here old enough to remember the Dukes of Hazzard? Of course, they made the movie, but I thought he looked like Bo Duke, and of course, he's got no hair now. But back then, he had blonde, curly hair. And I'm like, Bo Duke, and I love the Dukes of Hazzard. Man, this guy is cool. I want to be his friend. So sure enough, the following year, we were in the same class together. It was grade 3, and we were in the same class together. It was actually a 3-4 split. And our teacher was Madame Thibodeau. I don't know if you recall. And anyway, as it turns out, we're in this class, and we had a crush on the same girl. She was in grade 4, older women. We like the older women. Her name was Amy Bound. And this was the first time, but it wouldn't be the last time we competed for the same girl. And you can see the Peel Pub era later in the speech. Anyway, over the years, we grew very close. We attended lots of birthday parties together. We played lots of sports together. I can actually remember going to the roller rink with Steve. I believe it was called the Palladium on Tash Road. I think it's still there. The folks in Montreal would get that one. Anyway, we were dancing, we would skate around to like Private Eyes from Hollywood. Then we'd be looking out for the French girls, and we would slow skate to Sweet Dreams from Air Supply. Man, we are old. What else is going on with Steve and I? Well, I don't know if it was his first job, but I gave him one of his jobs. I gave him my old paper route. At the time, I was a little leery, and I felt kind of bad for my customers, because I knew at this point, service was going to decline. Not only that, Steve may or may not have collected from him 1 or 2 extra times. See, money has always been a bit of a contention with Creighton. Still to this day, if you go out with him, you might want to bring a few extra dollars to cover his tab. Not that he's cheap, just sometimes a little light in the end. With Steve and I, we saw lots of concerts. In fact, one of my very first was with Steve, Corey Hart. Back then we had hair, and we spiked it, we put on our sunglasses at night, and we were ready to rock. Then there was also Samantha Fox. We went to that concert together. We went to the Bangles together. We went and saw Debbie Gibson together. Hold on, there's more. But I'll stop at the good ones right there. In high school, we discovered that not only did we love girls, but we also had something else very important in common. Beer. Beer. Yes, we both liked it, and we both liked to drink it a lot. In fact, that hasn't changed to this day. In fact, we drank so much beer together that this speech would be longer, only I can't remember half the stuff we've done. When I think of Steve, the biggest thing that comes to mind is the Peel Pub. Peel Pub is a great bar in Montreal, or at least it was back in the day. I hardly ever went there without him. And he was great because, you know what, he was always willing to go. When other people would be dilly-dallying, Steve was in. He still is in for everything, all the time, whatever, he is in. Just as long as you're driving. And you're paying the tab. No, we talked about it. Yes, I picked Steve up so many times. In fact, just the thought of Steve showing up at my house, driving with a driver's license in a car, just seems weird. It just Oh, an ID. Don't even bother asking. He doesn't have any. All right? He's got no ID. That's a fact. However, he knows how to talk to the bouncers, and he can get us into the bar no matter what, because he can smooth talk the bouncers all the time, ID or not. Anyway, back to the Peel Pub. We spent so much money and effort on women on that place that they made us VIPs. True story. In fact, a little secret, our move at the Peel Pub was to order a pitcher of beer and play some coins. Girls at the next table would look over us and we'd invite them over and play. We used that move many times. We became professionals at playing quarters. We're still amateurs at meeting women. But it wasn't all about beer and women back in the day. There was also beer and bowling. Yes, Steve loves to bowl, if you don't know that about him. We bowled on the same team in the league for several years, the Sandbangers. Steve loved to strike out, and I witnessed that several nights. We were also in a band together, the California Coolers. Anybody heard of them? Yeah! See, so Mark over here is laughing, Mark Leroy. It's kind of a bit of a reunion, because Mark Leroy was in the California Coolers. So we got the reunion here going on tonight. The only thing is, we only did 3 cover tunes. They were You Give Love a Bad Name, Run to You, and You Give Love a Bad Name. Anyways, as you can see, we were pretty cool kids, you know, roller skating, Debbie Gibson, getting turkeys on the lanes, paper routes. We were right up there. Then there was that time we thought we killed someone. Let me tell you, that'll seal a friendship bond. Don't worry, she lived. And Lynn, where's Lynn? Lynn, I'm sorry, I still gotta apologize for crashing that Ford Tempo. Anyway, there were great times, and I'm happy to see that some of the people are here tonight that helped make it happen. Okie is here. We spent a lot of time together. Bobby Orr is here. We were together so often back in the day. We were inseparable. I mentioned Mark Leroy. He was there during the French Girls era. In fact, Mark still has his French girl with him right now. She's here tonight as well. Steve Sheets, Robin Gupta is here. Chris Keys, Dave Snyder. These are some of the people that helped make these party times happen. So I'm really glad to see everybody here tonight. Of course, there's also Robert Zabrowski. I want to say rest in peace, Robert Zabrowski. I know he's looking down, he's smiling with that evil grin, and he's actually looking for ways that we can all get into trouble tonight. But of course, we would apologize for it first. And I'm sure there'd be a wager on something, because those guys, Steve and Zabrowski, bet on everything. So anyway, great times, great memories, and great friends. So cheers to that, everybody. We're almost done, don't worry. Steve and I also share a love for Wildwood. Fact, I lived there for several years before him, and when it was time for me to move back to Canada, there was Steve looking to fill the void. What a great thing. And it was a great move, of course, because that's what led him to meet this beautiful woman here, Deanna, who looks fantastic tonight. And very happy they met. For the first time that I met her, actually, I knew she was an awesome girl. I loved her instantly. I was just wondering, all right, how long is it going to take before Steve screws this up? Turns out he didn't. Or if he did, she forgave him for it. So that's good news as well. They have a lot in common together, and of course she gets him on track. And if you know Steve, that's extremely necessary. Steve said something to me a couple of weeks ago when I was down here for the bachelor party that resonated with me. He said, I can't wait to marry Deanna. And I don't know if he remembers it, once again drinking. But he said it, and you know what, I know this is right, and I think it's awesome, and so very happy that these guys got married today. Steve's going to make a great family man because he comes from a very loving family. And I want to thank Lynn and Barb especially for making me always feel welcome. They're here, of course, Bob and Jen. Larry, who I just met, he seems awesome. And also want to give a shout out to Dave Creighton, Steve's brother, who unfortunately suffered an illness a couple of months back and couldn't be here. But in fact, I didn't really mention a lot about the party times, but there's several times that Dave was part of that as well. I know he would have loved to be here, so shout out to him. And of course, the DeBerry family as well. I've just gotten to know them. And just the last 24 hours, more or less, and they're fantastic as well. So it's a fantastic union. Anyway, Steve, thanks for the honor of asking me to be your best man. It's the first time for me. You've actually always been like a brother. In fact, many times over the years when we've been out, people have said, "Are you guys brothers?" And that was before we were both bald. Okay, so anyway, I just thought I'd leave you with one last note. If you think I made up or exaggerated any of this speech, I found this in my grade 10 yearbook. 1987, Steve Creighton, back then with a G, wrote this to me. And I still spell it with a G, even though I don't even know why he changed it to a C. I don't know what the story is behind that, but anyway. He wrote, "To Mike, it's been a great year, but now it's over. So now, the fun begins. Party time." We were 16. He goes on, "I'm glad we went through all those things together. Girls, teething, I don't know what that means, baseball, and can't forget parties." Okay, now here's the line. "Hope you have a great summer filled with lots." I laughed out loud when I read this and I was preparing this speech, and I thought this would be funny to end the speech with. Filled with lots and lots of girls and sex. Now, it gets better. If you need any help, just call.